welcome back, or I guess welcome to Kansas City in the T-Mobile Center. My name is Brett Twelmeyer, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Pavle Markovic.
And we're with the Iowa State Daily Dish on the road here at the T-Mobile Center, fresh off of Iowa State's 76-56 win over Cincinnati. Pavle, this one was really dominated inside the paint. We saw Deshaun Jackson, Joshua Jefferson really take over in this one and just kind of lead the way for the Cyclones.
Yeah, I think it was really Deshaun Jackson who kind of stole the day. 15 rebounds in total. It's kind of a high number. I didn't expect him to kind of get those kind of numbers off the boards, but, he did it. This is a new career high for him as well as a season high for Iowa State. So good to see him do that as well. He added 10 points from the paint, which, the Cyclones really controlled from the jump.
Right. I mean, his first double-double since that road game against Arizona. So it's awesome to see. And we were talking about it. Deshaun's going to need to have performances like these if Iowa State wants to be successful in March. And we saw that against Kansas State. It carried over here into this game against Cincinnati. So it feels like Deshaun is starting to pick up some momentum now. It really feels like that front court for Iowa State really is as well. Because when you also look at Joshua Jefferson, leads the way with 19 points. He had 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and also got 3 steals in there as well.
Yeah, Joshua Jefferson's doing what Joshua Jefferson usually does, He adds in every aspect of the game, and he really just stole the show. And, I'm hoping that he can continue what he's done today, which is, the Cincinnati game going into who they're going to have to play against BYU, which, Jefferson had success doing, but, having to do it in double overtime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see for sure, like how they do against BYU. But back to this game, I really liked what Milan Momcilovic said also about Joshua Jefferson. He said he loves playing him, his ability to score, rebound, facilitate, and defend. Like we've been talking about all season, he's just the Swiss Army knife for the Cyclones. And he proved it once again. And it feels like, again, when Josh is playing well, when Deshaun is playing well, the Cyclones are playing well.
Yeah, the duo is just unstoppable. The Presidents just do what they keep doing the best, and this is what they're kind of need to keep continuing on the success. And I know Keyshawn Gilbert also did play in this game a little bit, but only played 11 minutes. Came off the bench because he re-aggravated his groin injury, so that's going to be interesting to see how they bounce off of that. But if the two big men, the front court guys, can be able to sustain the success, and I think Iowa State will carry it.
Yeah, we did see, Nate Heise start again, scored 5 points, didn't miss either of his 2 shots that he took in his 23 minutes. I also saw Cade Kelderman get some minutes there late in the game. Didn't really do a whole lot. He had a good defensive play there towards the end, but I think it's interesting that TJ is trusting him, and he said that it's really the work that he does, behind the scenes in practices that Cade is starting to get these minutes, and I think that it's interesting that now in the Big 12 tournament is when that's kind of starting to happen for him.
Yeah, and I think he started to build trust in him, even like when the Houston game, when he came into that, and then obviously the Kansas State one before the Cincinnati game. So it's kind of nice to see, walk-on get some minutes here, but he's really just showing it. Even if it's not a lot, he's really coming in to make a presence despite really, doesn't seem like he's going to shoot the ball, but he's going to obviously help facilitate and play some defense.
Yeah, defensively, Iowa State was really strong in this game. It started off kind of right from the jump. A lot of turnovers, just kind of forced Cincinnati into some bad shots. Built a lead and then just kind of maintained that through the first half, and that just really built into the second half when they just flat out dominated.
Right, yeah. They held Cincinnati to under 30% for shooting in the first half, which is very good to see. Even they tried to just keep shooting threes, and I admire that, but, only obtaining 9 out of the 30 attempts from the total game is it's not going to help you win games. And I feel like they just, even though some of the numbers don't really show it, I feel like they just did a really good job of locking down their shooters.
Yeah, but on Iowa State's end, when they were getting shots up, first half it was Milan Momcilovic, 11 points in the first half. He really led the way with 3 threes. In the second half, it was Tamin Lipsey, 16 points in this one, also 3 threes that all came in the second half. So it feels like when Iowa State, we know that they have so many great scorers, and if at least one of them can get going in each half, like we saw today against Cincinnati, good things happen for the Cyclones. Everything about this game, this felt like nearly, besides the high amount of turnovers that they had in this one, this felt like a really near complete 40-minute game for the Cyclones.
Absolutely, and obviously injuries aside as well, and Tamin Lipsey did sustain apparently a groin injury just like Keyshawn, but it didn't seem like it was as bad as Keyshawn's, because Keyshawn said he's been dealing with it since I think the beginning of conference play, which has been a long time. So, but like you said, if they're able to sustain this success, obviously, minus these 17 turnovers, which I think is tied for this, or is the second most of the season, which you obviously you don't want to see, especially against a team like Cincinnati, who really struggled just to get things going. So, and you're going to be playing tougher competition starting with BYU.
Right. I mean, and down the stretch, Iowa State, I mean, they took over again, 13-3 run in the final 5 minutes, 11-0 in the final 3.5 minutes. So, again, it just felt like that momentum that they had throughout the game. I don't know if Cincinnati just kind of was out of gas or if Iowa State just found that extra gear to just really pull away in the end. I expected Iowa State to win this game, but I didn't expect them to win it like this. I mean, it was close-ish throughout a lot of it. Cincinnati kind of held in there. In the second half, they started scoring a lot more, but again, just the will. If there was a will, there was a way for Iowa State in this one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, BYU's up next. What are we looking forward to in that one? I mean, they spoiled Iowa State's senior night last time in double overtime. They battled back from that 21-point deficit. They just can't let that happen again, and I feel like it's a totally different outcome.
Absolutely, and it starts with not starting off slow. BYU forced Iowa State into sloppy play in the beginning, which Iowa State did force the Cougars to do the same. So it kind of showed similarities, but you just obviously can't start off slow. Got to make your shots and continue what you did on the defensive end to stop or make them commit these sloppy turnovers, which is going to help you in the late stretch.
I feel like another thing that could help out, it's kind of like an outside-ish factor, is just the Hilton South crowd.
Right.
I mean, I felt like they really showed up in this game. There were moments where it got loud in here. And, I mean, the arena wasn't, like, completely full. It was full enough. There was a good number of Cyclone fans here. I feel like that number is only going to increase as these games go along if Iowa State keeps on winning, because we're going to get, further and further, towards the weekend. So it'll entice people to come down more. Also, the weather's nice here in Kansas City, too. It reached 70 degrees here today.
Oh, it was beautiful outside. The pep rally where we get to see all the Cyclone fans get ready for the game, it was amazing. And, just continuing to look forward to a great week. And, it kind of starts with how Iowa State responds to playing BYU, who basically took the Cyclone spot at the double bye, look going into it. But it's going to be interesting to see, hopefully this time it doesn't have to go into a double overtime.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be – they're not going to get 29 turnovers probably this time, but if they can turn BYU over enough, I think that it should keep them in the game.
Yeah, and I think if BYU doesn't shoot as much as they did, because they obviously drew a lot of fouls. Started with Richie Saunders. He shot a lot of free throws, made all of them too, which is amazing to see, especially in a hostile environment. So it's really just having to stay away from the dumb fouls and then obviously not starting off slow.
Yeah, so in the end, big win for Iowa State, 20-point win over Cincinnati. They'll move on to play BYU, 11:30 a.m. once again on Thursday. Going to be on ESPN2. So we'll be here for that. More articles, more coverage, more podcasts, more everything. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you next time.